Huddle Up, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group. Jaguars senior writer John Oehser, NFL Network analyst and former Jaguar Bucky Brooks, and senior reporter J.P. Shadrick bring you the latest on your Jacksonville Jaguars. Huddle Up starts right now.
And welcome in to Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, J.P. Shadrick with John Oehser from the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center in Jacksonville. Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. We are wrapping up the Browns-Jaguars game, the 18-13 loss. We'll, a little bit later, look ahead, of course, to Monday Night Football, the Jaguars and the Bills in Week 3. But priority number one, getting back and getting on track after another loss, an 0-2 start after the game Sunday. Trevor Lawrence setting the tone.
I mean, we suck right now, so I don't. Pretty shocked. You know, obviously we had a great offseason, great training camp, and we got to figure it out. So we know we got a good group, we got good players, and we can be a really good offense, but clearly we're not. So everybody's got to take accountability, look in the mirror, and fix it. You know, I got to play better. I'm the leader of this offense. It's on me. You know, the wideouts got to play better, the lines got to play better, running backs got to play better, got to coach better. I mean, it's everybody, honestly. But you know, we're standing around. We got to take charge. We're standing around waiting on somebody to make a play. Defense is playing their ass off the last 2 weeks. If a team doesn't score more than 20 points on us, we should win every week. We can't finish in the red zone today. Too many mistakes, getting in and out of the huddle. Communication wasn't good. I mean, it's a lot of things. And you know, fortunately and unfortunately, it's what pisses you off after the game. A lot of it we control, but you know, we control it, but we're not doing it right. So until we do it right, it's a different story. So.
That's the quarterback, of course, Bucky Brooks, with us now from Los Angeles, and that's about as raw as you'll hear the quarterback, or at least as raw as we've heard him throughout his career after a ball game. Bucky, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, guys. I am good. I am looking forward to kind of moving past the last game and kind of putting our eyes on the next game. But I think it's really important to acknowledge what Trevor Lawrence has been saying. What he said in the postgame and in the presser matches up with what I saw from him during the game. It's the most animated that I've seen Trevor. It's the most irritated that I've seen Trevor in terms of being annoyed by the miscommunications, the errors, the mistakes that the unit is making. So it's good to kind of see him talk about that. It's also good to see him kind of evolve as a leader where he's holding people accountable. As Trevor grows into being the franchise quarterback, the quarterback has more say in who plays and who doesn't. And if guys aren't getting it done when it comes to performance or understanding what to do from a preparation standpoint, he's going to start moving those people off the field. And I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't want to do this because if we do this, I won't have a job. But you could just play that clip for 40 minutes on this show and figure out what's going on and figure out the theme of the week. Trevor was dead on. The communication in and out of the huddle. I mean, he laid it out as transparently as he could. That's why it was clunky. The communication was atrocious, and he knew it. He's had it. And I agree with Bucky. I was sitting there in the press conference and thinking, this is the most encouraging thing to happen today, the fact that he has had it. I don't know if it will give you desired results in terms of win on Monday, but I think it's the only thing that'll happen. Somebody's got to stand up and say, this isn't good enough. Bucky, I actually had somebody write me and saying that, you know, Trevor was pointing fingers. He wasn't taking accountability. I saw it as the opposite. I thought it was a moment where he said, you know what, this is my team. This is my butt on the line out there. I'm the one people are pointing fingers at. It's time for me to stop being depressed after a loss, or depressed isn't the right word, but, you know, taking blame for it and all that. I thought he was saying enough's enough, man. We got to win some games, and if you're going to be out here with me, everybody be all in.
You know, I think that is so true, and it's one of the things that I remarked, it's really good to see Trevor kind of be forceful, because I feel like for so long he's kind of been the guy that's tried to play nice in the sandbox. And anyone who's been around like franchise quarterbacks know that those guys can be a little ornery. They have high standards and they expect everyone to meet those standards. And as he is being held more accountable as a franchise quarterback, some of that is due to the contract and how everyone is going to view him. It absolutely should be a snowball rolling downhill. He needs to hold everybody else accountable, because how they perform impacts how he has to perform. So from the offensive line to the running backs to the wide receivers, everyone should be on notice. If it's not up to number 16's liking, he should speak up about it, and he should hold those guys accountable for meeting that standard, those lofty expectations that he has for himself and what the unit should have for themselves.
That's one side of the football. The defense couldn't get off the field in the first half last week, but stood up a little bit in the second half. And, I mean, let's be honest, they gave up 16 points in the game a week after giving up 20 to one of the most explosive offenses in football in Miami. They still haven't had a win to show for it. And, you know, they still had the ball in their hands on the final drive. The Jaguars did, with a chance to throw it in the end zone. Out of all of that happened on Sunday, out of as ugly as it looked all game long, the Browns tried to give it back to them even, and just fell a little bit short, John.
Yeah, I mean, the defense deserves praise for keeping them in the game. I thought, realistically, if you're analyzing the defense, the Browns had the ball for 20 minutes in the first half. And I think if you had asked their coaching staff, if we can get 13 points in the first half, run, 28 play? I mean, it was a lot of plays, 2 double-digit play drives and an 8-play drive.
That's right.
And lead by 10. I don't think the Jaguars' defense believed they were good enough in the first half, but they sure were good enough in the second to keep them in it. So, as you said, no matter how you break down the defense, good enough to win. And then, Bucky, it's the old thing. Just not big plays out of these guys at the big moments, really on either side of the ball. But, you know, I don't know if it's as much unit by unit as playmakers making plays.
Yeah, I'll say this. The unheralded guys, the newbies, the backups have played better than expectations. They've exceeded expectations. I would say that the stars have disappointed when it comes to the production and performance of our best players. And calling names out and calling numbers out, like, look, let's look at the production of the stars. So 16 has talked about needing to play better, but he needs everybody else. 13 has underperformed with his number of receptions. 17 played the first game but didn't play the second game, and he hasn't necessarily delivered. Cam Robinson, Anton Harrison haven't played well on the edges. On defense, we're still waiting for Josh Hines-Allen to kind of dominate to the level that we expect. Trayvon Walker has flashed, but it hasn't been consistent. Cisco and Fourier and Tyson Campbell, like, the best players have yet to play like blue chip players consistently. There have been flashes, but the team is going to go as those 10 players go. And until those 10 players begin to play at a blue chip level, the Jaguars will always have inconsistent performance. The backups and the role players have done their job. It's time for the stars to be stars if this team is going to accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Jaguars offense, Jaguars team, 30 points scored through 2 games, the fewest through 2 games since 2014 when they had 27 points combined in the first 2 weeks. And the Jaguars defense, one of 2 in the league without a takeaway yet through 2 weeks. The Browns being the other team without a takeaway so far. Plenty to come. We're back in a moment. We'll take a look at the Jaguars defense matching up against Josh Allen, the Bills quarterback, and that running game in Buffalo that's been going well. Are you Duval enough to become the Jaguars 2024 Fan of the Year and earn a trip to the Super Bowl? Visit NFL.com/Fan of the Year and nominate someone today. We're on to Buffalo next. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
I got all the faith in the linebackers and stuff, and I came in this league not playing every snap. I've been blessed to be able to play every snap from my 3rd year all the way to my 7th year, whatever the coach needs. But the goal here is to win games down the road. I want to win the games now. Obviously, it don't look right when we're not winning the games right now, so let's get to winning the games now, and you'll see it pay off down the road. But let's focus on the now. Don't worry about the snap counts and stuff. Let's worry about wins, how the linebackers look as a unit. Everything's going to work out if we execute our plays the way we're supposed to.
Foye Oluokun, Jaguars linebacker. Welcome back. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks. The full press conferences from the earlier availability this week in the locker room at Jaguars.com or Jaguars YouTube. And it's time to take it back to the 90s. Be at the bank Sunday, October 6th, as the Jags debut the Prowler throwback jerseys against the Colts. And the Jags will induct legendary head coach Tom Coughlin into the pride of the Jaguars at the halftime break. Visit Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. JP Shadrick, John Oehser. We're at the Hyundai Studios of the Miller Electric Center, Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. Foye Oluokun on the field for 82% of the snaps this week. Similar percentage in week 1. Is this even a thing, Bucky? I know they're rotating guys in more, but as you heard him say, I mean, for the last number of years, he's played nearly, virtually every snap at linebacker.
Yeah, no, I think it's a fine line between making sure that you're rotating people in to keep them fresh while also trying to develop the young players and running the risk of not having your best players on the field enough. Foye Oluokun is a tackling machine. It's been proven time and time again. He's always amongst the leaders in tackles. And what sometimes you're doing is taking them off to put other guys on the field. Are you weakening your defense at times by not having 23 on the field? I think what he was doing is voicing his opinion. He would like to be on the field more. He feels like he can make a greater impact. I just talked in the first segment about the stars needing to be stars. I think they'll kind of find that happy medium, that middle ground where they're playing the young guys some, but they're also making sure that their stars on the field in those critical situations.
Yeah, he's on. It's a difference of probably 7 or 8 plays. Those can be huge plays. I'm kind of with Bucky. I think they'll find a balance and find a feel for when to have him in the game. He was like at 99 and 98% the last 2 seasons, which is essentially you're only not playing when the game's over with. Situational. So,
right. Or you have to tie your shoe or something weird happens. Right?
I haven't had a sense that they have been hurt. Like it's been particularly a topic. Defensive line, it hasn't felt any different to me than it should be. Meaning, Trayvon and Josh are playing a little less, but I thought they needed to play a little less. Myles Garrett played, like 68% of the plays on Sunday. You don't really want those edge rushers playing 85% of the plays because it takes a lot out of you to rush a passer like that. So I haven't really felt, Bucky, like they've been over-rotating. It's felt okay to me. Linebackers a little unusual, but I think they got 4 good linebackers. I'm not sure there's a huge major drop-off when you play these guys.
No, I'm with you on that. And I think the depth is going to come in handy down the line. I think the way that we've seen the young guys perform in the secondary is a testament to those guys getting plenty of playing time, the coaches having confidence to put them on the field, and the players responding in kind to the confidence that the coaches have shown them. The thing that you want to do, though, is you want to make sure this is a players' game and it's a players' league, and players, your best players, ultimately decide whether your team wins or loses. You want to make sure that your best players are on the field in those critical snaps. And so maybe it's more of the first half where you have those guys rotating through, but then in the second half, the rotation becomes a little tighter to make sure that you got the veterans and really the stars on the field when the game really comes down to hanging in the balance.
Coming up this Monday, the Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. This Jaguars defense will have a challenge, of course, against Josh Allen. The Bills have won 7 consecutive regular season games, and in those games, Allen was 16 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. Well, where is he in the grand scheme of elite quarterbacks in the NFL? And it seems like he can do. You think he's number 2, John?
I used to.
Okay. He can do a whole lot more than just throw it around, Bucky.
He can do a whole lot more than just throw it around. And what he has is the ability to do some of the Superman stuff that you've seen. This year, the Buffalo Bills have kind of done the Pat Mahomes thing in terms of they've kind of removed some of the older established weapons and surrounded with some young guys, some cast-offs and some misfits, and they've asked him to do more. And he's responded in spectacular fashion. This is a guy that is a true dual-threat playmaker. He's someone that you can concern yourself on the running game down near the red zone. He has big-time arm talent where he can make all the throws, and he kind of has some guts and courage about him that inspires his teammates. Really good player who I think some would say has even exceeded what many thought he would be when he came into the league out of Wyoming as a bit of a gunslinger with an erratic kind of game that you couldn't predict how it was going to turn out.
What do you think, Bucky? I put him, obviously Mahomes is 1A, 1B, 1C. He's the best, but I love Burrow. But as you said, Josh Allen now seems to be passing a test of can you lose guys around you and still maintain? I mean, there was all this talk all the season. Well, they're losing Stephon Diggs. They're going to take a big step back. I don't think Buffalo was worried about that, but fans certainly were. I would still take Burrow starting a team, but this guy's right there, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I think you made the case, and I think this year is the year where he's able to kind of put some of that conversation to bed. Like the top 5 is one where the players and the pieces always rotate around Pat Mahomes. But now you certainly can make the case that Josh Allen is whatever it is, 2, 3, 4. He's in that conversation to be one of the best. He's an elite quarterback. He's an elite player. And the thing about it is he does it in a rugged fashion that really endears him to the fans in Western New York. It's going to be a huge challenge for the Jacksonville Jaguars to take on a guy who physically can overwhelm you with his size and strength, but also has the magic to make these throws that are special. I can't wait to see what Ryan Nielsen does to try and slow him down and how he elects to cover the wide receivers on the perimeter.
Oh, they beat him last year in London. They beat him in 2021 here at the bank in a 9-6 game. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Josh Allen went off that day on Josh Allen.
I think there's something to that in the sense of teams, when they've had success against a good team before, I don't think the Jaguars go into this game thinking, man, this team has our number. They played remarkably well last year in London, and that victory would have felt, what am I trying to say? That game would have felt wrong had the Bills won. Meaning, either the Jaguars outplayed them, controlled the tempo last year in London, So I think the Jaguars match up okay. It's got to make plays when
that's right.
In that game, they made big plays at big moments, and
Yeah.
they haven't done that a lot since Week 11 last year.
No, they haven't made as many splash plays as you would like them to make, but I will say I think the matchup is pretty solid in terms of who they're covering. If you think about the last 2 weeks, the caliber receivers that they covered, the Buffalo Bills are good, but it's different than dealing with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Amari Cooper and those guys. I think you have to be careful of Shakur. I think you have to be careful of the two tight ends because both guys, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid, are dangerous. They have a young pass catcher in Kenyon Coleman who was great as a collegian, and he has size and leaping ability. But if you're the secondary should feel good about their ability to hold their own in these matchups. And if they can do that, maybe it buys enough time for the front to be able to get after the quarterback. Because, look, you're going to have to knock him around. You can't let him sit there and kind of just eat lunch while he's waiting to throw. You got to find a way to make him move, and you have to hope that sometimes his gunslinging ways works against him, and he gives you a couple opportunities to turn the ball over.
Yeah, he'll give you a couple of opportunities. It feels like he certainly did that last year in London. 60 giveaways by Josh Allen since 2021, tied for the most in the league with Trevor Lawrence, of course. We're back in a moment, and we'll get into how the Jags offensive line matches up against this Bills defensive front, a really good defensive line coming up on Monday night. Jags fans want customized Jags furniture for your home? Check out zipchair.com and browse all customizable options. ZipChair furniture for fans. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguar season at Firehouse Subs. Receive 50% off on any sub when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Download the Firehouse Subs app for offer details. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available in the Firehouse Subs app.
Chelsea here. Tired of those drafty windows and high energy bills? It's time to upgrade with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, during our exclusive sale, you can save big on custom-built, energy-efficient windows and doors designed to keep your home comfortable and secure all year round. Our Fibrex material is 2 times stronger than vinyl, providing superior durability and impact resistance. Plus, with flexible financing options available, there's never been a better time to make a switch. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
The 2024 season is Pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
I feel like we have an identity when we run the ball. You know. I feel like we do that. We find ways to move the ball downfield, just stay on field, help our defense out. Don't have our defense out there hanging to dry. Just get first downs, and just be efficient in the red zone. You know, I feel like we just be efficient in the red zone. We're not even having these conversations. We just kind of be a poorly red zone team right now. We're leaving with 3 instead of 6, and that's the difference in these games that we've been having.
Travis Etienne Jr., Jaguars running back, asked about the identity of this team, if there is one, and welcome back to Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, JP Shadrick, John Oehser, and yes, Bucky Brooks. Monday Night Football is here, of course. Join us at the bank for the Monday Night Football watch party presented by the University of Florida. It's Monday, September 23rd. The Jags and the Bills, and tickets are free. Gates open at 6:30. Go to jaguars.com/watch party and register now.
Yeah, in reference to Travis's thoughts, how much different are you feeling about the season if when they have the ball at the 3 and he fumbles it into the end zone in week 1, if they score, and they had 2 opportunities at the 2-yard line last week.
They did.
And got, if I'm remembering right, got 6 points out of it.
Yeah, it's not enough.
So everything else, Bucky, it's a situational league. And in those situations, when you come up short, it just usually bites you at the end of the game.
It does bite you in the game. And I find it interesting that Travis would say that their running team or running the ball is their identity, because I never get that sense that is what this offense wants to be. Because if you're a team that is committing to running the ball, there's certain things that you do to ensure that everyone knows that that's your identity. Short yardage situations, it's not about cute plays. It's about lining up and sledgehammering the ball between the tackles and getting the first down. It's about being able to run the football when everyone in the stadium knows you need to run the ball and you're able to do it. So it's not only force and physicality, but it's also a stubborn mindset that I'm going to run the ball in the first quarter, and I don't care if we don't get it. I'm going to run it in the second and the third quarter, because I know in the fourth quarter we're going to knock the doors off and we're going to have a lot of success. That doesn't strike me as the identity of the team. I would say that the identity of this offense is one that is a little more finesse. It's a little more, we're going to throw the ball all over the yard. We're going to throw the score, and we will run it when we need to win. But we are a pass-first team that is kind of run through number 16 as opposed to the running game in the offensive line.
Yeah, I got the impression, JP, that when Travis was asked that on Monday, first of all, or Tuesday, I'm sorry, you're being asked after a loss. You're one of 2 guys in the locker room, and the media's sort of surrounding you, looking for something to say. I think he was sort of smiling, saying, I'm a running back, so I'd like the identity of the team to be a running game.
Run the ball.
And he sort of fell back on that answer. Yeah. I didn't get the idea that he was, what did Martin Luther do? He pounded the
on the door. Right.
The edict on the door. I don't think that was Travis saying this is what it this is what it is.
What a historical reference
years.
There, by the way. Wow.
So
digging deep.
I think I think as a runner he'd love it to be, and I think I took it to mean he thought that they've been running well in some good situations this year, and that and that could be part of the identity. And I think he's right. I think they have been running pretty well at times, and I don't think they want to stray too far away from that. So
yeah,
good Martin Luther.
Yeah, wow, I didn't think I'd hear that on the show today.
I certainly didn't think those were going to be the parallels that we were going to reference Martin Luther, but I appreciate it. And as someone who fancies the intellectual side, I dig that, John, that you brought that up in the middle of the podcast about ball. But so yeah, you're probably right about Travis kind of got caught on the spot asking about the identity. But here's the thing: really good offenses, you don't have to know what the identity is. You see it, and it's very apparent each and every week. And so maybe that's part of the problem, that we don't have a sense of what the identity of the offense is, because it has been really muddled in terms of style of play, approach, production. But I mean, the numbers speak for themselves when it comes to this offense. Bottom 10 in most major categories. Third down, red zone has been awful. 26% conversion rate on third down, 40%, 42% in the red zone. Trevor Lawrence is only completing 21% of his passes on third down. Yeah. That's at the bottom of the league. I mean, even below Bryce Young. There are a lot of things to fix, but I think offensively it starts with the basics. They have to win on the money downs. And so third down, red zone, they got to find a way to get it done, and they have not gotten it done, which is why we're sitting right now at 0-2, because the offensive ineptitude just is not, it's been a major problem.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a chicken and the egg answer, but I've gotten this question a lot this week. What's the identity of the offense? And my experience tells me when you don't convert third downs very well, nobody can know what your identity is because you're never on the field. So, it's again, do you convert third downs well when you have a good identity? There's probably a little bit to that. But 50 and 55 plays the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
So it's hard to show your identity when you're always running off the field with your chin strap down.
Well, the way to flip that around begins up front on the offensive line. We talk about the running game we're talking about, but certainly in the pass protection game, and they have another challenge on their hands this week with this Buffalo Bills defensive line and pass rushing group. Now, remember, this is a Bills defense that last year had 5 sacks on the Jaguars at Spurs and hit the quarterback, 8 times in the game. They forced a fumble, or at least one fumble, out of Trevor Lawrence's hands. A.J. Epinesa had 2 of those sacks. Leonard Floyd had 2. He's now in San Francisco. And this game last year was Von Miller's first game back off the injury. He wasn't really too effective in the game, but he is this year, Bucky, and this is a defensive front in Buffalo that can come get you. So where do you begin up front? What is the number one priority for the O-line?
Well, one, the offensive line, the communication has to be better in general. Before we even talk about what the Buffalo Bills do, you got to make sure the communication is on point. Everyone knows alignment, assignments, and the adjustments. 2, when you're dealing with this front, you have to deal with the energy and the effort that you're going to see from a front line that might be a little undersized, but man, they make up for their lack of size with a lot of go in terms of like hustle, effort, and those things. Ed Oliver on the inside. I don't know.
Another creative term.
If a team can't play with Hufford, they got no shot.
That's a great combination.
Come on, hustle, effort, all of this stuff. So you got to deal with Ed Oliver. You got to deal with Von Miller, and you got to deal with the young kid, Gregory Rousseau. They can get after it. And if you're in long yardage situations where you don't win on first down, you're talking about second and long, that's when the problems happen. And in that stadium where the crowd can get a little boisterous, it makes it very, very difficult for an offense to convert. So first down will be a very key down, critical down for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I would just be surprised and I guess disappointed if this week, considering you're going to Buffalo, where on a Monday night where concentration has to be the highest, I don't think you can win in the NFL, period, if the communication, all that stuff that Trevor was talking about after the game, if that's not there, it's hard to win anyway. But maybe you get away with it at home. Maybe you get away with it in Miami, where the crowd does not have a reputation as the same as Buffalo. But Buffalo Monday night, if you're not laser focused, ready, amped, whatever, playing with Hufford, all that, if you're not doing those things in Buffalo, after what Trevor said, then there's a problem. I would be surprised, Bucky, if you don't see a team on Monday that is as on point as it's been in a while. And interesting, if you go back and compare the game at Spurs last year, that game was one of those games, you and I have talked about it so much. They made just so many big plays. Remember that, the passes to Ridley to get him out of 3rd and 5 at the goal line, and then Travis nailing down the game with big runs.
Zay with a catch in the back of the end zone.
And those are the kind of plays where they went and won the darn game. And they just haven't done that the last 15, 16 games. I think it's fair for fans to wonder where all that went.
Yeah, look, I also wonder where all of that went. Like, they haven't been able to kind of get it done when they needed to in those critical situations. And I think you're right about, like, this being a performance where we'll see the best in that. I think from a player standpoint, Monday Night Football is as good as it gets. I think it plays to our childhood dreams and those things. Like, everyone wants to play on the big stage where everyone is watching. This is an opportunity for the football world to see you. It's an opportunity for your peers to see you on the main stage. That typically brings out your best performance. And when you're an 0-2 team and everyone around town, the noise is growing, the criticism has been loud, man, there's no better way to rewrite the narrative than to go out and put on an impressive showing on Monday night. I think all hands on deck, but I think the energy and the attention to detail will be on par. Everyone wants to dazzle when you're on the big stage.
John, print the T-shirts. Hufford,
yeah, again,
print them.
I think that may be the key going forward.
Gotta have it.
Gotta play with Hufford.
Yeah, I don't know. If you don't have that, you don't have anything.
Right.
We're back in a moment. You don't. We're back in a moment. We'll look at our final thoughts ahead of this Monday Night Football matchup, the Jaguars and the Bills. It's Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks with Hufford.
I'm Dan Fields, and we have some great news. Fields has the vehicle you want, in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery.
Fields Auto Group is Jacksonville's luxury automotive destination for Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Inventory is back and available for immediate delivery.
And every Fields customer can take advantage of our Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes. You deserve the best.
Stop by today or go to fieldsauto.com.
Listen up. Just like football, timing is everything. Only water your lawn when necessary. And always check the weather before turning on those sprinklers.
Save water, save money, and score big. It's a win-win.
Whether you're on the field or at home, we're all on the same team. Florida's water. It's worth saving. This message brought to you by the St. Johns River Water Management District. Visit sjrwmd.com for more information. Looking for the perfect place to host a business trip, corporate group, or social gathering? Look no further than the award-winning Sheraton Jacksonville Hotel, proudly part of the Marriott family of hotels. Centrally located next to the St. John's Town Center off Gate Parkway in JTB, they offer everything you need, whether you're hosting a meeting or just unwinding with friends at the BC Grill and Patio. Discover comfort and convenience like never before. Search Sheraton Jacksonville or call 904-564-4772 today.
Calling all loyal Jags fans and loyal Gate customers, football is back. And you and 3 friends could win a chance to meet Trevor Lawrence. Entering is easy. Just buy any 5 28-ounce Gatorade or Gatorade Zero products at Gate with your MyGate Rewards app, and you'll be automatically entered. Not a MyGate Rewards member? Download the app and sign up today. See store for details. Alternate entry available at GatoradePromos.com/TLAW.
Welcome back. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks, brought to you by Fields Auto Group Jacksonville. See Fields first, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. Go to fieldsauto.com. Final thoughts, JP Shadrick with John Oehser in Jacksonville at the Hyundai Studios at the Miller Electric Center. Bucky Brooks in Los Angeles. The Jaguars and the Bills on Monday Night Football. The last 7 meetings between these teams have each been decided by 7 points or less, including the AFC wildcard playoff game after the 2017 season. And the Jaguars, that's since 2013. The Jaguars have had a lot of not very good teams in that time frame. The Bills have mostly had success, certainly in the last 5 years, double-digit wins each of those years. But the Jaguars and Bills always seem to be matched pretty evenly, John. And we'll see if that's the case again this week.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if the Jaguars don't play their best game of the year. I'd be very surprised if they don't come out strong, if there's not energy. What I worry about is that enough against a Bills team I think is really good. Sometimes you see those kind of games where there's energy in prime time. And then the fact remains that this Bills team I think is one of the 2 or 3 Super Bowl favorites in the AFC. I consider them that until they show me they're not. And will the energy against a really good team and a really good quarterback be enough to sustain? The Bills are one of those teams, because of Josh Allen, that it sort of finds a way to beat teams despite their best effort. But I would be surprised if we don't see the Jaguars' best effort on Monday, Bucky.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup for the Jags. I think they match up with their personnel on the outside pretty well. They don't have an established number 1 receiver. The ball kind of goes where it goes. I think the number 1 thing is dealing with number 17. I think you have to make him uncomfortable. It's really on the pass rush, Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker, to be able to disrupt the timing of the passing game. Feel good about the chances of being able to get them covered. But if you're unable to get around the quarterback early, then you have to deal with the scramble plays, and the scramble plays typically lead to explosive plays. A lot of pressure on the defense, but look, I think this team is going to play well. My expectation is they're going to go on the road and get a big win, and that win is going to spark a little bit of a run as we get to the thick of the schedule.
Need it. No doubt.
Gotta have it. 0-2 start. Jags on the road against the 2-0 Buffalo Bills. 7:30 Monday kickoff on ESPN. It's a double Monday night week. So the Jags are on the ESPN game. 4:30 Publix Tailgate Show. 6:30 countdown to kickoff on the Jaguars Radio Network. We got programming, of course, Thursday. Jags AM. Jaguars Happy Hour and the Doug Peterson Show coming up later this week as well. Bucky, we will talk to you next week in Buffalo. Have a good one.
Amen. It should be fun. Thanks, guys.
That's Bucky Brooks, John Oehser. I'm JP Shadrick. Our thanks to David Cho, Brent Reber, Joe Fortunato, William Pease, our entire crew. And we'll catch you next time. Huddle Up with Bucky Brooks.